Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the 2026 innovation survival traits. We're going to uncover exactly how to ride this unprecedented, massive tsunami of converging technologies we're seeing right now, rather than getting completely swept away by it. I mean, we are living through a hyper-accelerated era, and let me tell you, the rules of the game have entirely changed. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering the 2026 tech tsunami, the innovation imperative, core survival traits, navigating the ethical turbulence, AI mirages and realities, and finally, we'll wrap up with the human orchestrator. Let's just jump right in. All right, Section 1, the 2026 tech tsunami and the sheer scale of this unprecedented change. Okay, we really need to grasp the absolute scale of what's happening right now. Think about this for a second. Enterprise spending on generative AI completely exploded to $37 billion in 2025. And this massive investment, it's being driven by a fundamental shift in what this tech can actually do. We're no longer just dealing with basic chatbots that spit out answers. We're talking about a move to agentic AI. These are autonomous digital workers capable of perceiving their environment, making highly complex decisions, and actually executing multi-step tasks with barely any human oversight. It's a total game changer. And you know, it's not just happening in software either. It is aggressively entering the physical world. Get this, the manufacturing costs for humanoid robots dropped a staggering 40% in just one single year. That kind of rapid cost reduction is literally democratizing access to physical automation. I mean, you've got models like the Unitree G1 now priced at an astonishing $16,000. That's the price of a cheap used car for a highly advanced humanoid robot. Now, you might be wondering how all of this connects. Well, these breakthroughs are actively converging across multiple industries. In quantum computing, you have Google's 105-qubit Willow chip demonstrating these massive leaps in processing stability. Over in fusion energy, we're seeing 18 huge superconducting magnets successfully installed to harness clean power at the CFS Spark tokamak. And in telecom, upcoming 6G networks are integrating ISAC, which stands for Integrated Sensing and Communication. This essentially blends environmental sensing directly into our communication grids. So you see, these aren't just isolated, random events. They are colliding and converging to completely reshape our physical and digital reality. Moving on to Section 2, the innovation imperative. Put simply, adapt or be displaced. When we look at the harsh business reality of all this technological convergence is putting massive, unprecedented pressure on traditional models. Our source material really hits the nail on the head with this quote. Innovation and adaptability are no longer competitive advantages, they are survival traits. AI-native competitors can literally build products at light speed now. By leveraging cloud computing, open source software, and AI coding platforms, a tiny team can pull off what used to require entire heavily funded departments. So rapid adaptation, it's an absolute necessity now. It's for sure no longer just a nice to have. We really have to contrast the old way of doing things with this new 2026 reality. Think back to traditional innovation. It required months of R&D, exhaustive ideation sessions, these painfully long development cycles, and entirely manual market execution. But today, in the AI-native reality, agentic AI compresses that entire timeline from months down to mere days. It completely automates the raw ideation and the complex coding. When intelligence itself becomes commoditized like this, execution happens at a speed we have honestly never seen before. That brings us perfectly to Section 3, Core Survival Traits. Let's open up your new toolkit for 2026. To ride this massive wave, you need a brand new toolkit. And that starts with what we call scalable opportunity discovery. Look, because AI makes it virtually free to generate 1,000 ideas in seconds, simply having a good idea doesn't mean much anymore. The new core of innovation is entirely focused on identifying genuine human problems and validating real, tangible opportunities amidst the absolute deafening noise of AI-generated possibilities. It's a massive critical shift from just sitting around brainstorming to actively orchestrating real market value. So how do you actually do this? Well, to survive and thrive, you've got to master these 4 sequential traits. First, you have to discover genuine opportunities by finding the actual signal in all that noise. Second, you need to validate those opportunities rapidly using smart experimentation frameworks. No guessing allowed. Third, you have to realize them at incredible speed through agile development. And finally, fourth, you must build ecosystems through strategic partnerships and deep market trust. Master these 4 things, and you're going to master the 2026 landscape. All right, Section 4, Navigating the ethical turbulence, we need to talk about the hidden undertows out there. Upcoming 6G and AI native networks are, frankly, incredibly complex. We are looking at a deeply interconnected web of edge computing, virtualized network functions, and autonomous AI nodes. And here's the catch. When systems become this wildly complex and this autonomous, they create a very dangerous responsibility gap. Think about it. If an autonomous agent makes a critical error, who's legally or morally accountable? Is it the developer, the operator, the AI itself? This is a massive structural challenge for our traditional liability frameworks. And honestly, it goes way beyond just legal liability. As we deploy these autonomous systems everywhere, we absolutely must aggressively mitigate several severe risks. We've got to watch out for algorithmic bias that can blindly reinforce existing structural inequalities in our institutions. We have to guard against mass surveillance and privacy threats, especially now that brain-computer interfaces are introducing the very real risk of neural data extraction. And perhaps the most daunting one of all, we have to monitor for unintended AI subobjectives. We are literally talking about the risk of an agent developing a self-preservation instinct, simply as a clever workaround to maximize its programmed reward function. Wild, right? Okay, Section 5, AI mirages and realities. It's time to question those so-called emergent abilities. So, human perception can totally deceive us. You've probably seen charts that seem to show AI models suddenly waking up with these sharp emergent abilities once they hit a certain scale. It looks incredibly dramatic. But researchers at Stanford have actually highlighted that this sudden spike might just be a mirage. It's often caused by using discontinuous pass-fail metrics, where a model gets absolute zero credit until it gets the entire answer perfectly right. When you actually measure performance using continuous metrics that give partial credit for getting closer to the right answer, that sudden, scary emergence disappears, and it just reveals smooth, predictable scaling. It's a super vital reminder that we always need to question the metrics behind the hype. Which brings us to our final stop, Section 6, the human orchestrator. Let's figure out your actual new role in 2026. So, because AI is now handling all the heavy lifting of raw ideation, complex coding, and routine analysis, your role as a human hasn't been diminished. It's actually been fundamentally elevated. Your new role is to be the opportunity orchestrator. Think of yourself as the conductor of a massive symphony. Your job now is to combine these incredibly powerful yet highly commoditized tools, the agentic AI, the humanoid robots, the advanced computing, to solve genuine human problems and create actual tangible value in the world. I want to leave you with a final, provocative thought to take away from this explainer today. The foundational models, they're available to everyone now. The most advanced platforms, totally accessible. The traditional barrier to entry for innovation has, for all intents and purposes, entirely vanished. So if the technology is absolutely no longer the bottleneck holding you back, what will you choose to build?